Alrighty, why do you support Trump?
What he's already done as far as immigration, southern border.
Okay, like what specifically would you say?
For example, one of my biggest things, I really like that he reinstated the DNA testing for minors, something Joe Biden got rid of.
Okay, I mean, I would say it's actually invasive and unnecessary because it doesn't satisfy the necessary and sufficient conditions to establish that there is some sort of like guardianship of the child because you're gonna have to check paperwork and documentation anyway. And the documentation is necessary and sufficient, so it just seems like to be unnecessary to do DNA on top of that.
So you're against making sure and checking the DNA that a child that's brought across with an adult is their actual biological parent? Why would you be? That's so weird to be against. I don't know. And that the way you just answered that sounded like such a written down textbook reply from your script. Like, well, I think it's invasive. Why would it be invasive to DNA test someone? Which is, by the way, like one of the least invasive things to do. That's the argument the Democrats commonly make, though, to be against protecting minors that come across at the border. That's just so weird. So you're completely okay with not making sure the children are coming across with their guardian?
I said that I think the documents themselves are necessary and sufficient in establishing that, in that
Right,
DNA
but what if
testing
someone
is
comes
not
across
necessary nor
undocumented?
let me please finish. The DNA testing in of itself is not necessary nor sufficient to establish that, so there's no basis for utilizing DNA testing. It seems to be unnecessary, and it is absolutely invasive to have to give up your DNA, right? And then, what are you talking about? You don't think that's invasive at all?
No, I think it's like
I'll
pretty
make sure I write that
common
one down for
to
later.
take care to
DNA
protect children
testing
and make sure that
is not
they have
invasive. I'll make sure
biological
to write that
parents
one
with
down.
them.
That one's gonna be useful for
That's
later.
just so weird. Like, can you also look up? First of all, I would like you to source that. It's sufficient what we do at the border with just documents, even though they're coming undocumented. So I'm kind of confused as to what
Oh,
documents you're referring to. So go ahead and source that, and then I want you to look up the amount of children that are brought across with people that are not their legal guardians and that are actually being trafficked. That's a very high number. I believe it's like above 60% of the children coming across, they're coming across with people that are smuggling them across.
you're talking about those that are coming across through the context of a sponsor system, which is a legal process. You're saying these are people that are undocumented. What these are people
I'm
going through
talking
a
about,
legal
yeah, I'm talking about
these are people
children
going
coming
through a legal
across
process of coming into
undocumented.
the country. So
No
I
one,
just
no
want to
one here,
clarify.
neither of us said the
Can
words.
I please finish without you cutting me off?
Sure,
Is that
go
fine?
ahead.
Yeah. So like just to clarify, right? If a kid is adopted, are you saying that they can't come across the border with their guardian because they don't have DNA
So
that
neither
tests
of
the
us
same?
here said anything about some sort of sponsor or adoption program. We're talking about illegal immigration. We're talking about undocumented crossings of children with adults
Yeah, which
and doing a
would
DNA
be the
test to make
sponsor.
sure that
The
those
adult's
adults
the
are their
sponsor.
family.
That's the terminology that's used, but it's
No,
okay.
we're not talking about sponsors. We're talking about children being found at the border crossing illegally with adults.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that doesn't happen or something?
Okay,
Why
so
are you
now
a
you're
little
saying the
confused?
DNA testing was for that and not for the
Why do
process
you
of
look
legally coming to the
confused?
country. Well, no, this then under this you're saying people are coming through the asylum process or any legal process? Are they applying? Or what's the
Again, none of us said the word
context?
asylum. Why are you deflecting to illegal immigration when we're talking about illegal
These
immigration
are
with
because the
minors coming
DNA
with
testing is
adults?
specifically in relation to the sponsors and a legal process of immigration. So you look at documentation to be able to determine whether or not someone's coming to
No,
the country
so go ahead and
with a
source that. So the
sponsor.
DNA
Now, hold
testing
up.
was to
Let me please.
verify relationships for
Yeah,
DNA
yeah.
through
Let me
DNA
just clarify.
testing.
So again, if we were to bring a situation where there's a kid that was adopted, what do you do in that scenario?
Sorry, well, go ahead. Ask that
Yeah,
again.
I'm just
I was
asking
just reading this.
if there's a kid who's adopted who's coming across the
hmm
border with their parent. What do you do?
What do you mean? If there's a kid coming across who was adopted with their parent, that doesn't really make sense. But yeah, if the kid is coming across from the border legally, he would have documentation, which is why I brought up the fact that you're talking about documented crossings. I'm talking about undocumented children coming across with no documents with a random adult who we don't know if it's their family or not. We should be doing DNA testing for that. Also, we should be making a
I don't think
database. We should have a
I don't think
DNA
that
and
Biden got
fingerprint.
rid of DNA testing for that. But if you're referencing the DNA testing, that was the reference to the legal process, and the documentation you just demonstrated alone was necessary and sufficient to establish that they are coming with their guardian, right?
Yeah, if they're coming across legally, have documentation, they probably don't need DNA testing. I'm talking about specifically someone coming across with no documentation with an adult,
Can
and
you
we
give
need
me
to
a
confirm
source
whether that
of what you're
adult is
referencing?
there.
Mike, think of the galaxy.
Yeah, it was called rapid familial DNA testing,
Yeah, and can you
and
give
it
me
was
the
just
source that it's in
cheek
reference
swabs. By the
specifically to
way,
only
the thing that
undocumented?
you call so invasive, it was just swabbing the cheek.
Yeah, but like that's obviously
'Cause,
like
that's
mandatory.
so
You're saying.
invasive.
I do think
Just
it's.
swabbing the
I do
cheek to
think
make
it's.
sure children
Yeah,
are
I think
safe
that's
and with their
invasive. I think
family.
that's invasive if it's
Yeah,
mandatory, of course.
yeah,
Now you're not
So
answering my
let's
questions.
weigh.
You're
Hold on,
not
let's
answering my
weigh it,
questions.
right?
What's your source specifically for
What
that?
do you mean the source for what that Biden got rid of it? We can look at the Federation for American Immigration.
No, no, no. I'm saying the source that specifically it's in reference to undocumented individuals.
Just look at the rapid familial DNA testing and who qualifies
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
It
And
was to verify.
can
I'm
you give
reading
me
it right now.
any
It says to verify
report that
whether
references this? Can you give
it
me
says
any?
I'll read it to you from the American Immigration Council.
Okay,
It
so what's the
says
title?
rapid familial DNA testing.
What's the title?
Southern border At the southern border was to verify whether adults and children crossing were with their biological family, and this was phased out by Joe Biden.
Okay, can you give me the title?
Dude, how many times do I have to read it to you? Rapid familial DNA testing. Now you're just gonna play dense and be like, well, I can't find it. Well, I don't see it. But it's just weird that you would think cheek swabs are invasive and we should stop doing that. And that's more important, not being invasive with the cheek swab. That's more important than making sure a
You said
child
American
is with
Immigration
someone that's
Council?
actually their family.
Was it American Immigration Council or what was it?
There's one from the Federation for American Immigration.
Okay, so Federation for American Immigration. Okay, now I'm looking at a different federal or American immigration. I think maybe you need to clarify. Here, he's looking. I think he's trying to clarify real quick. So just give him a second, everyone. If you want to support me as always, everyone, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat as always, everybody. Are you there? Hello? Sir? You there? I'm not lagging, right, chat? I'm all good. Okay, hello. Sorry, go back to what you were saying. What was the title of the place?
I just got you a better source, actually, better than the American Immigration Council. So we can look at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General, and it's CPB's lack of familial DNA testing and detection of fraudulent relationship.
Lack of familial relationship?
Lack of familial DNA testing limits detention of fraudulent relationship.
Limit detention of, here we go. DHS. Alrighty. Lack of familial DNA testing limits detection of fraudulent relationship. There's nothing in it.
I mean,
Or is it do I have to click on the PDF? Okay. I see it. What page?
I mean, what do you want to know? Would you want to see the numbers of how many people they've caught? That it includes in this? It tells you
you're
that it
saying
includes
specifically
illegal
that the
immigrants.
process that existed under the Biden administration. You're saying that this establishes that this was applicable to undocumented immigrants specifically. So I'm asking what part of the document here that is about 24 pages says that.
Here, let me just find the page. I'm just going to do Control F.
It does say on page 12, CBP does not track its efforts to administer familial DNA testing.
What was that?
It does say on page 12, CBP does not track its efforts to administer familial DNA testing.
Okay. So it says on page 1. Oops, hold on. Ad blocker. Page 1. U.S. Custom and Border Protections reported that from fiscal years 2021 to 2024, it encountered approximately 10.8 million aliens at or between ports of entry seeking admission into the United States. The vast majority of these encounters, estimated 8.7 million, occurred along the southwest border, where approximately 2.7 million aliens claim to be members of a family unit. U.S. Border Patrol agents are responsible for apprehending, inspecting, and processing individuals who attempt to enter the country between ports of entry. So obviously that's the definition for an illegal entry.
Wait. Before you do this real quick, can you look at page 11 real quick? It says, even when agents and officers suspect fraud and offer familial DNA tests, there's no legal authority for CBP to compel people to undergo testing.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you read that on page 11?
Yeah, I mean, you just read it to me. What do you think why do you think that's significant?
If there's no legal basis to compel people to use that, then
I mean, they can't
are you saying that Biden was just following the law?
You can't force someone into a cheek swab, right?
Sir, that would be a violation of their rights then,
That's
according to the source that you just gave me.
I'm not
According
saying
to
we
your
should
own source,
forcefully cheek
it
swab
tells you
people.
that.
I'm saying it's to be something that we do at the border, right?
Wait,
that's my argument. Not that we should
from a
forcefully
voluntary
do it.
standpoint. This isn't mandatory though.
Yeah, I know.
So if
You
someone
just
is
read it.
fraudulently doing it, can't they just say, "I don't want to do that"?
I mean, I guess they could argue, but then they could have. Wait,
so then what's the point?
So you're arguing that then we should just get rid of it, right, and do no DNA?
No. I'm asking you, what's the point then?
Well, like if you were to read this, it tells you that.
What do you gain from this?
So after the DNA testing has been done, they have found that over 14% of the relationships that were tested were fraudulent. So 14% of, let's see, how many?
Can you tell me where you see that?
Yeah, page 4 through 5.
Okay.
It says 2.7 million, right? What's 14% of 2.7 million? Let's see.
Here, you said page 4 or 5?
Yep, 4 through 5.
4 through 5. It says from
So
September
roughly
21 to wait, hold up, watch
378,000
this, watch
people.
this, watch
No,
this,
no,
watch
Parker.
this, watch.
No, Parker, you don't want to style it.
Watch this.
378 people.
Chad, watch this, watch this.
378,000 people.
Hey, dude, can you stop talking for a second?
No, I know.
Wait,
you
let me
want
know
to
when you're
stop
done.
talking.
Let me
Go
know
ahead,
when you're
I'll
done.
let
This
you
is
crash
too
out.
good.
Go ahead.
No, just tell me. Let
now
me
you
know
want
when
to
you're
talk?
done.
Yeah. So you're saying this is not significant? That's 378,000
No, watch
people.
this. Watch this.
Okay.
This is gonna be
So
so
now you're
funny.
interrupting again after you just said.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Parker. Get it out. Let's see your gotcha moment.
Yeah, this says from September 2021 to September 2024 that CBP conducted 314 familial DNA tests on about 0.01% of the 2.7 million people that across the border as a part of a family unit, and CBP did not increase familial DNA testing even after limiting revealed more than 14% administered tests indicated no biological relationship. So
Yeah,
that's
that's an
just
issue. I think we
indicating
should
no
increase
biological
it.
relationship, one. And two, this is during the Biden administration.
Yeah, it ended under the Biden administration. Biden was the one that decided
What
not
year?
to continue, but that was my argument.
What year?
Like he ended it in 2023 is when it got phased out.
But this says it goes through 2024.
I don't know. It ended 2023.
Where do you see
I'll show
that?
you. It ended May 31st, 2023.
And what's the and where are you seeing that?
House.gov, again, the Immigration Council, May 31st, 2023 is when
What's
it
the
ended.
title? Just so I can read it.
Biden administration ends DNA testing of families at the border.
Okay.
Like,
Admin.
it should be pretty easy to find. And
Yeah.
it's so weird.
It's so weird. You're trying to like bend into a pretzel to be against DNA testing for families at the border. Like you guys claim to care about these immigrants, claim to care about children, but then you will bend into a pretzel to support that Biden does and to be against what Trump does.
You said you read it from
So I'm
House.gov,
guessing you're also
or-
in favor of ending like the migrant protection
You
protocols.
said
right?
you read it from House.gov, or where'd you read it from?
Yeah, House.gov is one.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, just Google when did DNA testing
Moves
end
to
under
DNA
Biden at the border?
So this is Republicans claiming this. Wait,
May
is there the-
31st, 2020. This is Republicans claim.
Yeah, like wait. I just want to clarify. That's you just told me to look up the House.
Dude, it's the Biden
source.
administration. They ended it. It's not Republicans saying
But
that ended it.
I'm sorry. These
the Biden
you
administration
just
ended
cited
it.
though. I just want to clarify.
I cited.
You
I
can
cited
cite
multiple
information.
things.
I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just saying you're citing information from the Republicans in Congress.
I gave you the federal immigration site again. Federation for American Immigration Relief, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. You're being purposely disingenuous, Parker. Because
I don't see how I'm being purposely disingenuous for just trying to get a thing to read real quick from you. Because after you just cited something that indicated that there was this under this, there was at least the testing under the Biden administration through, at least it claimed that the data that it was gathering was through
Okay,
2024.
sure. I'll
from
just
the
turn my
source that you
camera on so you
provided.
can't be like, I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, I'm trying to look at your
This
source
is
right
the
now.
Federation for American Immigration.
It just says that
Biden administration.
Hold up.
DNA
So it
testing
says
families at the border.
Subcommittee on National Security, the Border, Foreign Affairs Committee, and members of the subcommittee are launching an investigation.
Parker,
after
what does
reports
it say?
indicated that the Biden administration will end the
At the
CBP,
end of May,
familial
the Biden
DNA testing
administration
to
made
confirm.
a conscious decision not to renew a Trump.
Yeah, just be quiet.
It's right there.
To claim to family unit relationships in a letter acting. Lawmakers are calling CBP to provide documents, communications. Should there be? Okay, so yeah. I mean, again, I don't dispute the idea that there would be that they think that it's not relevant, but my point that I would make too, again, like we tried to mention earlier, is that given that there's not a mandatory basis to this, what benefit does it provide you? Right, like in a realistic sense, you're saying that like people who just inevitably still go through the system will be tied to not be members of that familial unit. That doesn't indicate fraud.
Sure.
That's
Parker,
even what
let me
your
ask you
own
a question.
source said. Your own source
Parker, let me
indicated
ask-
that it doesn't specifically indicate fraud for people to not be members of the same family or have the same DNA.
I hear you, Parker. So you're saying, well, because it's not a mandatory thing to get the cheek swab, then why is it even needed, right? Is it mandatory to do the
No, I'm
breathalyzer?
asking what benefit does it even provide?
Again, because you're finding people who are like falsifying a family unit and claiming they're the parents of a child who is not their child. I think that's very important. Even
Wait,
if
but if it's
one-
voluntary,
hold on, Parker, let me
and they
finish.
just don't
Let me
want to go
finish.
through
I
it, they
think
can
even if
just
it's
choose
just
not to
5
go through it,
children,
right?
even if we just say 5 kids from people who are with not their parents and are being trafficked, even if it's just 5 kids. I think that's good
Them
enough.
not being with their wait, so let me just clarify. Them not being with the people that are genetically related to them does not mean they're being trafficked. Do you think that that means they're being trafficked because they're with people that are not genetically related to them?
No, but a lot of the times that's what's happening because children are being brought
How do you
across
know?
with
This
smugglers.
data doesn't
Because you
tell
can
you
look
that.
at statistics.
So what statistics tell you what percent
Sure,
of those
I'll look it up.
individuals that are specifically not of the same family unit in the context of those administered tests are situations of trafficking? That this is preventing the familial DNA testing.
I'm looking at the percentage.
And just to address it, just because it's not necessary doesn't mean it's not effective. Just like the breathalyzer isn't necessary, you don't have to necessarily take it. You're not it's not mandatory to take a breathalyzer. It's still very effective and we still use it.
Yeah, but there are legal consequences if you
So
don't, right?
this is from the NCB. Let's see, pmc.ncbi.nlh.nih. It says unaccompanied children. It's a rough estimate of 75 to 80% of them are victims of human trafficking.
Wait, you said what percent?
75 to 80% of children that are arriving at the border are 70% to 80% are human trafficking or exploitation by smugglers.
Well, I don't.
That's
One, I'd
from
have
the
to know where you're
NIH.
getting a source, and two, I was asking of the number of people specifically who are not of the same biological relationship, right? In the context of these DNA tests that were prevented, specifically because of the DNA
Right.
tests.
Yeah,
Because
but
you're
you said
claiming-
just because
you're
they're
claiming
not
that
their
these DNA
biological
tests are
parent doesn't
preventing
mean they're
this from
not
happening.
being.
And also, did you just claim 75 to 80% of children across the board, like are
Coming across
being
illegally
trafficked?
are being trafficked. Yeah.
Wait, 70% of people who are legally
According
children
to the
going across the
NIH.
border are. Wait, let me pause.
Illegally. Let me
Pause.
repeat it for you so you don't twist the words. According to the NIH, 75 to 80% of newly arriving children are victims of human trafficking or exploitation by smugglers.
Okay. And can you tell me what the title is?
I'll just give you 1 second. It's unaccompanied children at the United States border, human rights crisis that can
Wait,
be
wait, wait,
addressed.
wait,
That
wait.
can be addressed with
Unaccompanied.
policy change.
Wait, sir. You've now changed your argument. Unaccompanied.
This is the title. You need to read the
Sir,
paper.
wait,
This
sir.
is the title.
You were just talking
Did we
about
go
how they
off of a
came
title?
with family
Did we go
and
off
saying
of a
it was
title, or did we
trafficking because
read
they
it?
were accompanied with someone.
Did we go off
Now
of
we're
a
talking
title?
about
Or did we read
unaccompanied?
Do we go off of a title or do we read the thing?
Wait,
we go off
pause.
of a
You just
title
said it
or
was
did we read it?
unaccompanied.
Did you read it?
Yeah, you said it was unaccompanied.
That's the title. Now read the paper.
Okay, so tell me
Where
the
it says
title
that
again one more time. I just want to
75
clarify.
80% of the children.
What's the title
Just
again?
keep it, Parker, you're being disingenuous, bro.
What's the
You have to
title?
be able to admit that you were wrong.
Yeah, I'm so disingenuous
that we
for
should
telling
be
you what you
fighting
said.
human trafficking. That Trump
Just
is
tell
fighting
me the
human
title.
smuggling.
Tell me the title. Stop doing your
Did
talking
already.
points.
I'm not playing this game with
Just
you.
do it
You're
one
a
more time.
child.
I don't remember.
That sucks.
Okay, so you
It's
don't
in
want me to
front
look
of
it
your
up?
face right now. It's in front of your face.
I can't
You
read it.
You have a secondary device.
So just
You've
tell
done
me
all
the
the
title.
research against Trump. Do some research.
He's crashing out now because I asked him for the title.
You're being a child without a developed frontal lobe. Like I've gave you the title multiple times, and you just, oh well, what's the title? Oh well, what's the source? You're playing disingenuous because you don't want to admit you're in favor of human smuggling.
I do
You're
not agree with
advocating-
human smuggling.
You're
That is literally
advocating
just
for
you crashing
something human
out.
smugglers would support.
Yeah, keep crashing out, bro. Okay.
It's actually so weird that you prey on like young children with undeveloped frontal lobes to
How am I
like
preying
sway
on
their
young
minds. Yeah, you sway their minds in a certain way to support what human smugglers in theory would support.
Dude,
No DNA testing for children, ending the.
okay. Biden didn't completely end DNA testing across the board.
Yes, he
Biden ended
Well,
it for
illegals.
Biden didn't extend a particular agreement, right, in one context. Now there is still is it,
Which
right?
ended
He
it.
just didn't extend a contract, okay? So let me just
also ended the
clarify.
MAGA
Let me just
protection
clarify.
protocol.
Let me just clarify. It is not legally mandated to utilize this process, okay? So that's not a
Neither
process
is a
that he just got
breathalyzer.
rid of completely.
Neither is a breathalyzer. A breathalyzer isn't legally
Okay,
mandated.
I don't know what.
but we
Yeah,
still have it, right?
there are legal
Can we
consequences
get rid
if
of
you
the
don't do that.
breathalyzer since it's not legal?
There are legal consequences if you don't do that. And also, again, you're not understanding. I'm not saying you get rid of it just because of the fact that it's specifically not mandatory. I'm just asking you what are the benefits because I don't see that there would be benefits for the argument that you're making, right, in terms of the policy
I
of
told you,
extending
80%
the
of
certain
children are
contract in the same way that Trump was prior, because I just don't see the same sort of benefits. Now, then I asked you the question, can you tell me what percent of those specifically that were coming with a person across the border, right, and they're accompanied by someone, right, of the percent, you said around 14% don't have a biological relation. I said what percent of those that don't have a biological relation are being trafficked? Because also, by the way, even if they have a biological relation, they still could be being trafficked. So I'm asking you specifically of that group, and you didn't even give me that group. You gave me unaccompanied children. And that's not even of the question I asked you. And then you're like, dude, you have to accept my source. I just provided you the source. Look at the screen, bro. You're taking advantage of little children. You're taking advantage of little children because you're telling them things that human smugglers would want to believe. No, I'm not. I completely disagree with that. And by the way, you're saying that from a guy who supports Trump, who literally is preventing the release of the Epstein files. That's ironic that you're saying things like that while defending such a guy. Interesting enough.
He signed the release of the Epstein files. That's ironic.
Yeah, has he released all of the Epstein files?
Parker.
Wait. The Epstein Files Transparency Act, does it say that he needs to release all of the files or some of the files?
All of the files.
All of the files. Did he release
Parker,
all the
before
files?
You deflect, though. Hold on.
Did he release all the files?
Before you deflect, though.
Did he release all the files?
Before you deflect.
Did he release all the files?
Before you deflect.
Did he release all the files?
I'm not sure. I don't know how many files there are.
No, he did not release all the files.
Before you deflect, Parker?
There are millions of files that he did not release. The fact that you said I'm not sure is so funny and dishonest. It's hilarious. You knew damn well that he didn't release all the files. You just didn't want to admit it.
Okay. So, Parker, by the way, according to the Homeland Security Act of 2002, an accompanied minor at the border is just someone without a parent or a legal guardian. So that means if they are found to be with a human trafficker or a smuggler that happens to be an adult, they are still an accompanied minor. So yes, those children, 80% of them at the border,
guardians cannot have a biological relation. Sir,
you don't give a you don't care. You wanted to end DNA.
Guardians do not have a biological relation, right, in all circumstances. So the circumstance they're referencing with guardians includes the group that we were just referencing, sir.
You like to cherry
includes the group we were just referencing of guardians that don't have a biological relation, but still are not trafficking the kids.
So
like,
Parker, do you care about those 80% of children that are being smuggled at the border?
I care about children that are being smuggled. I think that's horrible, and we should do
that's
whatever.
That's really weird. Should we end illegal immigration?
We should do whatever we can specifically to prevent that from happening. I think the way that we should prevent that from happening.
Do you support Trump in his efforts to end illegal immigration?
I don't think that Trump is doing this. I think that the way that
do we have the lowest numbers at the border right now, Parker?
Okay, I think the way to address it.
We have the lowest numbers in history.
All right, let me please speak. I think the way to address it is by providing a legal pathway to immigration where people do not have to leave the country.
Why do we have the lowest numbers at the border right now?
Okay, do you want to have a conversation or do you just want to keep screaming over me? You're crashing out.
Crashing out because you can't answer.
Wow, you're such a projector.
So
you're projecting, bro. Do you want to stop crashing out and cutting me off? Or do you need a baby bottle?
You just answer.
Yeah, if you can't stop speaking, I'm just gonna keep doing this. So I'll sit here all day. Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
You're in favor of human smuggling.
You will get your time to speak after me. Okay, be quiet, bud. You cut me off one more time. I'm just gonna thank people. Okay.
You don't care about children.
There you go. There you go, bud. All right. All right, we're just going to thank people. Boudica, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said the report says that 14% don't have the same DNA. Exactly what we found out. It's so funny, right? And then you look up, gee, it's funny that 14% of children in family units are adopted. Could there be a correlation here? Maybe. Rachel, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you for so sick of the fake outrage when Trump made huge cuts to programs that investigate trafficking in the U.S. and globally and diverted FBI resources to immigration. Thank you very much.
Well, so how do we still have
Rachel?
Like
thank
multiple
you.
Giant
Susan, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Susan. Thank you. Get some W's for Susan in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Jada, that is so sick. That is so sick. Honestly, that's honestly so cool.
Someone said concentration.
And then Michael, thank you for the $10. Thank you very
hilarious.
much. I really appreciate it. Yes, I was.
Concentration camps. That's insane. This is Obama's detention centers. You know, children sleeping on concrete floors with tinfoil blankets. This is Trump's alligator Alcatraz, bunk beds, pillows. But this is a concentration camp, right? But this is like
he's crashing out, dude. I like how you're like not even engaging with what we were just talking about.
I'm just trying to address your dumb.
You're just like randomly pivoting to like some random comment in the comment section, by the way. And by the way, you're looking at propaganda pictures from the alligator Alcatraz propaganda pictures. You're not looking at the actual conditions. You should look at the actual conditions where, by the way, they were fed literally food that was below human grade standards, where specifically you had members come out and talk about this. You had individuals and Congress people such as Maxwell Frost go in and talk to individuals that were literally there. I did just source it and you're not listening because you're cutting me off. You need a baby bottle. Hey, Hey, if you want to keep cutting me off and doing this, I'm just going to go to the next person. This is a waste of time. Stop talking. Stop doing this. I'm telling you right now, you have about 3 more shots. If you do that, I'm just going to kick you and go on to the next person. You're wasting our time.
Parker, you said that
by literally screaming over me repeatedly. You're just going to waste our time repeatedly. Okay? You're crashing the out. And I'm just telling you, calm down. It's going to be okay. You'll have your time to speak.
Parker, you said my source was a Republican, so it was invalid. You just gave me a source from a Democrat in Congress. You're dumb as shit.
I'm citing.
This is the propaganda
Sir,
image.
I'm citing
Another
information based upon the fact that he talked to people that were there and he was a
felons?
witness to this.
Yeah,
Whereas
felons told him
specifically,
to eat maggots.
you were citing literally the House, literally just
felons.
claiming this right from a political standpoint. Do you understand the
Yeah,
distinction
the guy
between
who claimed he had
witnessing
maggots in his
something?
food was a felon.
Wait,
Was a
if there
fucking
was a
felon.
Republican that witnessed something, I would
A
believe
felon
that.
criminal.
What's up?
No, not really. I don't. Again, if a felon or a criminal says, they're making me eat maggots, I'm not gonna automatically believe him because that's a felon and a criminal that has a reason to argue not to
it's
be in
Trump's a felon and a criminal, and you believe him.
there. Is Trump? Is Trump a felon and a criminal?
You really think I'm gonna believe a felon and a criminal? Yeah, you supported Trump, sir. Yeah, I do think you'd believe a felon and a criminal. What's gonna prevent you from believing a felon and a criminal? Tell me.
Well, I mean, someone that was politically persecuted is very different to someone that actually
And by the
committed
way,
violent
coming into the
crimes.
country undocumented is not a felon. A felony.
1326
it's not a felony.
is a felony.
It's a misdemeanor, my
1326
guy.
is a felony.
It's a misdemeanor.
U.S. 1326 is a felony. USA 1326 is a felony. Did you know that?
Wait, it's a misdemeanor to come into the country unlawfully. Do you
It's
agree?
a felony. You didn't know that?
Wait, what's the felony?
Re-entry by an illegal alien.
Re-entry.
1326. Coming into the country illegally. Yeah, coming into the country illegally. Coming in.
Do you see how this guy has to constantly
Coming
move the
into the
goal?
country.
Re-entry is the felony.
Coming
Not
into the
no. Unlawfully
re-entry coming
entering the
in.
country the first time. That's a
coming into
misdemeanor.
the country.
So he has to literally purposefully try to portray it in a certain way in order to try to make his argument. So
That's not the
how
only
do you know that
qualification.
in these cases that it's re-entry?
That's not the only qualification for a felony. So it could also be with if you come into the country illegally for your first time with false documents after committing a crime in your country, that makes it a felony.
After
I know
committing
you
a
don't know
crime
shit
in your
about this,
country,
Parker, 'cause you're a
which most
sheltered
people
white
who
guy
are
with
detained have not.
developed frontal lobe.
Most people who have been detained by ICE have not committed a crime in the past.
Really? Do you want to source that?
Yes, that's actually from ICE.
My
data
source says
themselves.
otherwise. My source says 70% of them do have a criminal record.
No, it's that they weren't convicted of any crime.
No, it's that they have a crime or a conviction.
No,
All right, let's look at
no,
the source
it's that
real
they
quick.
don't have one.
Sure, let's look at the source real quick.
You did just get a flag, though, sir.
Oh, he's gonna run away now.
I'm not running by you getting a harassment and bullying flag. That's called TikTok hitting you with a flag. But yeah, you can look at that data from ICE. You'll literally see that I'm correct. The 73% number is of those that have never been convicted of a crime. Let's go to the next person. Only sin against